I'm Catherine Allgor. I'm the president here at the Massachusetts Historical Society. I'm also a historian of early America, and I'm in my fourth year as president. I chose a microfilm reel of the papers of Louisa Catherine Johnson Adams. And it's not the letters themselves, but the microfilm that was important to me because it kind of is a very evocative item in my personal story. So how you get to be a historian, boy, it takes a village, and it's good teachers and mentors and examples. And sometimes it's somebody from the past who does that. And I have to say that Louisa Catherine Adams made me a historian and a historian of women. I was at Mount Holyoke and what was wanted to be a historian, was thinking about my thesis. And my mentor was Joe Ellis, and he was writing a book about John Adams called Passionate Sage, and it was about John Adams in his later years. And so I remember being on one side of the quad, and he saw me on the other, and he walked all the way over, and he put his finger in my face, and he said, "Louisa Catherine Adams," and then he walked away. So I had to find out who this person was and soon discovered, of course, she was John Quincy Adams' wife and political partner, also John Adams' daughter in law. And the reason that Joe thought there was something there with this woman is she has this great correspondence with John Adams when John Adams is kind of in retirement and she's in the thick of it in Washington. And her letters to him are just great. They're descriptive and bitchy and angry and depressed and witty and mean and they were fabulous. And so I thought I need to find out more about her. I had never really worked in an archive before, and I didn't know how I was going to see these papers. I knew they were at this place called the Massachusetts Historical Society, which was all the way across the state. But they said, no, 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 that's on microfilm. It's one of the really early microfilm projects. And so I learned how to use microfilm, right? Where you put this thing in and you have to thread it so carefully and you can't go too fast or you're going to get motion sickness. But it was through this microfilm, which is really just a picture of the page, that I began to learn about Louisa Catherine Adams while gaining certain skills, like being able to read her handwriting and really becoming absorbed in her story. And the upshot of this is I did write a thesis on it. And even though I thought she was behind me when I went to graduate school, she ends up being a major player in my first book. So I really can say she's been part of me. But there's a moment, and I was in the archive with the microfilm. And the way microfilm was set up in those days, there's a screen and then there's a lighted part. And I was leaning in and I was looking at the screen trying to figure out the handwriting. And I realized that the writing was reflected all on my arms. And I just thought this was a wonderful metaphor for sort of being absorbed in the material. It was literally absorbing me. So that's why I offer you not the content of the microfilm reel, but the actual physical presence.